guys, I'm Courtney Ortiz, and I'm here with the Camp Shopping channel brought to you by our friends at Happy Camper Live. And I'm here today. I'm back here in the Girls HC, and I'm really excited to introduce to you my brand new camp friend, Rodney Rice. He's the CEO of Waldo Photos. So welcome, Rodney. Welcome to the Girls HC. So what is Waldo Photo? Are we still searching for him?
Thanks, Courtney, for the warm introduction. Great to be with you today. Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was a camper dad. I was a camper dad for 10 years, well, 30 sessions worth of camp, three kids for 10 years each. And I felt like I was playing Where's Waldo every single night of every single session, every single year, all three kids. And yeah, I mean, that's honestly the origin story of Waldo Photos. I was extremely frustrated as a camper parent with my wife and I, our specific situation. We didn't have a whole lot of grandparents close. And so the 2 weeks that our kids went away every summer back then when they were little were really the only 2 weeks we had all year as a couple. And so, it's a very valuable time to reconnect. And invariably we would go to some remote location on some beach somewhere that had terrible Wi-Fi. And we would be thumbing through 400 or 500 photos every night with the photo browser crashing every third photo. And all I could think was, wow, we could just be sitting in an Adirondack chair, drinking a margarita, and our cell phone goes off, our text goes off, and our kids' photos are right there. And so I built it. That's how we got here today.
Wow, they say necessity is the mother of invention. Well,
Exactly.
I started my camp career. I was a camp photographer for 2 years. So you are Waldo Photos, and like not only the camp photographer, but I had moms at camp, so I wear the mom hat, the professional photographer hat, and the camp photographer hat. So talk to me. So you
I
developed
have been
Waldo
I have
Photos?
been I left that out. I've been a camp photographer too. We have a really cool program where my kids went to school, where in sixth grade they get to go off to the Howard E. Butts Foundation Ranch for a 3-day camp, and I volunteered to be the camp photographer. So I've been the camp photographer too, not for 2 whole seasons. I don't know how you did that, but I have been it for 3 days.
Well, for my photographer friends, I always say it's like shooting a 600-person wedding every day with same day turnaround. So,
Exactly.
it's a hard job. There's a lot of details and stuff as you're trying to tell the story and capture all of the kids every day at camp. So, what is Waldo Photos? You built it. What is it? Tell me what it is.
Yeah. So what we've done at Waldo is just completely reimagined the photo and video management and delivery process for camps. And what I mean by that was we approached it in the new world that we live in, right, where content is king. We all know with the emergence of social media and the dominance of social media in our lives, anybody that presides over a brand understands that content is king. And so I looked at it from two vantage points as I was building it. One, obviously, as I said in the beginning, how can we make the photography and videography experience for the parents delightful? How can we make our camp families ecstatic? And obviously that's every camp administrator's goal, is to not only love on and take care of and help grow the kids, but obviously, the parents face it, the parents are paying the bill. So you don't want to make their lives miserable. So the first hat I had on was, how can we make this a delightful experience for the parents? And that's where what I was looking at the time was the convergence of really four things: facial recognition, there's an app for that mentality, cloud, and and then in some cases location awareness plays an important element. And I saw those four things coming together and thought, this dream I have of delivering the stack of needles out of the stack of hay onto the Decker mom and dad's phone every day, so that they're not spending 45 minutes a night frantically looking for little Johnny or little Sarah. I can make that a reality with the emergence of these technologies. But then I put the camp administrator hat on and said, well, wait a minute, they're not getting the value they should be getting for these out of these photos. They're hiring somebody like yourself and expending the capital to create this asset, but in a social media driven world, they're not getting the brand value out of it. And so what we built on the business side of it for camps is a really powerful content management tool. And it starts with the automatic curation and organizing of the photos by camper automatically based on facial recognition. And then we've overlaid a really robust custom tagging module so that you can tag this photo as Facebook photo fall. And then when October rolls around, you're looking for those photos for Facebook, your Facebook post. You're not looking for a needle in a haystack. You have your stack of needles as well. So we've overlaid not only what we call smart tagging, which is the AI driven facial recognition based tagging, but also a really robust custom tagging. And then we've also, from there, we built out some really cool products like smart slideshows where we have an algorithm that automatically determines the best photo to the worst photo of any particular camper. So let's say little Sarah has 40 photos taken of her while she's at camp. We will rank them 1 to 40. And then you can say, hey, I want the best 2 photos of each camper in this slideshow so that nobody's ghosted. I can tell you as a parent, when I would show up for closing ceremony and they've got the slideshow playing, the worst thing in the world is to sit there and watch it for 8 minutes and you haven't seen your kid yet. And you're like, did my kid get ghosted? So what we've done is we've made it just practical. We've automated it and made it practical to make sure that you have equal coverage in a product like a slideshow. Could be a slideshow, could be a yearbook, could be a photo book, could be it could be a slideshow for, like I said, closing ceremonies, could be for a road show. A lot of different uses, right? But the bottom line is we've made it just really simple and used AI in intelligent and smart ways to take the labor off of your overtaxed, overworked camp staff. And then the next piece of it is branding. So these are we flipped the whole thing from a pull to a push, right? So you used to hunt and peck through a gallery as mom or dad, going through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos just to try to find your kid. And now we've turned that into a push where we push this stack of needles out of a stack of hay on the deck of your phone to your texting app, right? Well, in doing that, we've wildly increased engagement with the content. We know that the percentage of the photos that the parents see, the predictability with which they see them, and then they engage with them, and then therefore, in turn, flip them to social, goes up as well exponentially, right? Well, if you're doing that, in our estimation, you want them branded. So we automatically brand filter the photos with the camp's branding. You can do a bottom ribbon banner or bottom right logo. And then if your families are posting it to Facebook, you can automatically hashtag it. We can embed your hashtag. So essentially the way I view it is, like I said, content is king. Your community is your number one asset. And you're leveraging your community into micro influencers on social media. They're posting all these branded little miniature digital billboards all over social media all summer long. Not one time at the end, but all summer long. They're doing your marketing work for you.
Multiple times a day, because every time they get that little ping, it's going to be like, oh, like Pavlov's
That's
dog.
true.
They're going to pick it up and see
Exactly.
it, and they're going to immediately share it on their
Right.
story immediately.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because it won't be these like my friends that send their kids to camp, they see the pictures and then they'll post like their weekly Facebook post of camp photos. So I mean they'll still do that, but rather
Sure.
than just like one,
Yeah.
all the photos now will be branded and then it'll be multiple times during the day.
And then the other
Go ahead.
And then, Yeah, and then the other thing we've done is we made it really simple to stream that set of matched photos of your camper to other family members. So in like two taps within the app, you can photo stream little Johnny or little Sarah's matches to grandma and grandpa, aunts and uncles, your husband or wife, and then the camper themselves. When they get out of camp, obviously they're going to have a keen interest in getting all their photos as well. So one parent can onboard to the Waldo app in 30 seconds or less, and then immediately stream that out to 4, 5, 6 family members. And man, the comments that we get back from grandparents, who I always characterize them as being in photo Siberia, because as a young family, you're running around with your hair on fire. You know, dad's going this way, mom's going this way. You've got multiple kids, zone defense. And last thing, we're all well intended, but let's face it, if we're honest with ourselves, when did we last send our parents a picture of the grandkids? Like, it doesn't happen. It happens maybe once a year. And so now, grandma and grandpa are following along. They're getting the same text pings that mom and dad are getting in real time. And wow, do they appreciate that. Unbelievable. Yeah. So we made that very simple. We also have, well, let me screen share. I'll just jump in the application and show it to you.
Well, while you're pulling that up, I want to just say, like, as a photographer, so much of our time is spent on the field, and taking photos, and that's where you want your photographers to be. But it's really a it's a two-part job. You're out there taking the photos, and then you're coming back at night or in the evening, and now you have to edit them and you have to upload them. And so much time, when I was doing this, we didn't have all this facial recognition, so we were spending hours, organizing them per age group, per gender, even activity, to make it easier on the parents. We were publishing
Right.
2,000 photos a day.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And so that way your photographers are out there being photographers, and at night they can go to bed because they're tired from being.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The stress that you take off your staff is immense. This, can you see our application here?
That's so pretty.
Yeah, cool. So this is an example, just like, it's a sample camp. In this case, this camp has been what we call Waldo-fied for 3 seasons. So you can see 21, 22, 23. If we just jump in here to a season, so every time one of our camp partners, we come into the spring and we're, coming into summer, they'll set up a new gallery, and our team, is very helpful that in any way that they need there. But they'll set up a new gallery, and then you can see here. So like, this is session 1. We give them complete ability to organize it any way they want, but most camps honestly go with sub albums by day. So you can see that this is the way this one's structured. This is a 5-day, 1-week camp, overnight camp, 5 days, and they set up a sub album for each day. That's just the way that they happen to segment it. But what I was referring to earlier when you were asking about the genesis of it and the AI, this is what your dashboard looks like. So as that camp photographer, you're able to see how many photos each camper's received, how many times mom or dad have been notified that they were found in a photo, how long it's been since they received their last photo. That's, if we're in a real live situation, it's going to be hours or days. And once it starts to become multiple days, then obviously that person might be somebody you want to focus on. So it really empowers the photographer to do a better job. They don't have to be an idiot savant for faces. They don't have to try to figure out, how many times that they've covered 600 kids. That's really impossible with the human brain. And so really powerful. We call this the camper dashboard. Gives you great information. You can, print it out if you do want to create a shot list. You've got some particular people that have been missed. And what we've seen just with the hundreds of camps that we work with is camp by camp, their emails go down and their frantic phone calls go down. So that also takes a lot of stress and pressure off of your team, because you're doing a better job. And frankly, even more than doing a better job, you've just allowed the parents to sit back and relax and realize that Waldo's going to do the work. You're going to get notified when your camper has been captured, and you're not sitting there at 11 o'clock at night. Invariably, the photos obviously always are uploaded at 10:30 or 10:59 in the evening. So, these parents are up at 11 o'clock at night, frantically going through the photos multiple times. They can't believe their eyes are deceiving them. They can't believe the kid hasn't been captured. And then they're actually mad because they've spent all that time, and now they didn't get a sign of life. So I think counterintuitively to a lot of the industry, what the emergence of this technology has done is it has made the parent relax. It's increased their engagement in the content while removing some of the sort of negative psychology around it, where parents get frantic and kind of wrapped around the axle, honestly, because they spend all that time, have historically spent all that time going through all of these photos, looking for a needle in a haystack, only to be frustrated.
And
So,
truth is too, not every child is camera ready all the time. So as a
mhm,
photographer, you're going to get multiple pictures of certain campers because they just this person, that person, they
mhm,
just want to get a million pictures. And there's some that like do this.
yeah,
And so that's not everybody. So if that has to play in too. But this data is, I love the slideshow function because at our camp, we do a weekly slideshow on our Friday during our Friday night show, and it's picking that was I always gave that to one of the I was the oldest staff member, so I always made the younger ones do that. But it was a big job, and I'm glad I didn't have to do it. And it was hard because some kids are just in a lot of pictures because that's
yeah.
just hard.
Exactly. Yeah, this is so all I kind of skipped over, but all the sort of goodies and controls are over here on the right-hand side. And you can see, speaking of slideshow, I can just show you this. So our smart slideshow builder, it automatically creates collage style slides. Like I said, you can use the power of the auto spotlighting feature to create a curated batch. But yeah, really, really cool product that you can use for closing ceremonies or road shows or whatever else you might want to use a slideshow for. If you have a larger camp and you have multiple photographers, you can also use our contributors feature to invite those photographers in as contributors by email or text. That's also very cool because then you're able to view everyone, who took what photo. It's not just a bunch of SD cards that get thrown on the desk at night, but you know exactly who took which photos, and you can honestly, provide um, coaching, constructive criticism, whatever. But like, for example, here, if I click on Devin here, like these are photos that Devin has taken.
Mhm.
And in this case, you can set whether their photos automatically publish or whether they require review, and that can be based on just frankly how much you trust the resource, whether you want the images to go straight out the door, whether you would like to review them first. And if you do, they land in that bucket. They're at the top, the require review bucket that you see in red. Um, yeah. So yeah, just tons of cool stuff. Like I said, we support video, so you can see if you go here, you can upload videos. And what other things I want to? Oh, favorites. Our approach to favorites is kind of interesting. So as a parent, you can favorite photos and those will show up as favorites in your app. But then the camp can also mark photos as favorites, and that can also drive slideshow creation or other things. But then on the camp administrator side, you can see both buckets. So you could see the camp's favorites as well as uh, photos that have been favorited by the community. So that's a pretty cool way to pivot on it as well. Yeah. So that's
Question for you.
yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So this camp that you had that have had 3 summers as Waldo camps, can those parents now, as they're getting ready for summer number 4, do they have access to go back and look at their campers' older photos from the previous summers?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of Waldo over time, is that it creates a photo stream, year over year over year over year. And you can imagine the memorabilia, that enables. I remember when I was thinking about starting Waldo, I walked in one day and I asked my wife, I said, if our camp sent you a photo book on our kids' 10th anniversary at the camp, chock full of 10 years worth of memory of, photos of Georgia. Um,
Like mic drop. Like that's it. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
You know
it.
what happened? You
Done
know what
it.
happened?
You've done it. You've done it.
Yeah,
Boom.
you know
That's
what
it.
happened? You know what honestly happened? And that's when I was like, oh wow, this is powerful. She was standing at the kitchen island, and she honestly kind of started to tear up, and she said, I would write them this nonprofit camp. She said, I would write them a huge check. That's what she said, almost crying, like thinking about the prospect of actually getting that. So that's what you have now, with Waldo, is you can pivot on each one of your kids in the app and see this time lapse photo stream, and then turn that into incredible memorabilia, whether that's a coffee table, quality photo book, or a slideshow, or whatever the asset may be. It enables the camp to do that if they want to do that, to reward long standing tenure, or for the parents to do it themselves.
Wow. I love that. Love all of that. Let's see.
The other thing I'll say, and
Ah,
this is kind of interesting, is like I said, I wear, as I've built this business over the years, I've worn these two hats. What is the camper dad hat and the camp administrator hat, and everybody's tempted to have these highly verticalized apps, like, you want the camp app. And the reality is that there's a lot more power in it for the parent, in having all of their photos across their camp, school, and other activities in a single app. But there's also more value in that for the camp, because they re-engage with the photos more frequently. If a camp is honest with themselves, the parents aren't going to come back to a camp specific app until it's camp again. And so, uh, a lot of folks have been drawn into, these, less fully featured, photo content management solutions, that might be provided by, like, for example, the registration software, with this idea of a single app. But I think it's a fallacy, because you're losing a lot of value there, because Waldo families, they're they end up experiencing their gymnastics meets Waldified, their schools Waldified, their this or that's Waldified, and so they're in the app all the time. Well, what are they doing? They're re-engaging with those photos at important times through the year when they're considering, for example, um, paying tuition again for next year.
right. Does the app like send you little notifications throughout the year? Like here's a memory or here's that. So to kind of like encourage that kind of re-engagement with the app in February per se, like right
Yeah, I
now.
mean, we're not super spammy about it. Having said that, the camp can send communication. The camp can send communication, through our platform, if they want to, at important times throughout the year. But what's really cool, yeah, we hadn't even got into this, is we have our Waldograms product, which is basically like a photo postcard product. The camp, now that the camp has all their photos organized by camper and automatically sorted from best to worst via the AI spotlight feature, whenever little Sally's birthday rolls around, they can quickly drop into the app. Here, I'll show it to you. If you go over here to Member Connect, um, previously sent Waldograms. Yeah. So here's an example. Like,
So you
yeah,
can
you
make a custom card. You can use the photos to create a custom card in the app.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you can see like birthday cards, Christmas cards. So we have a lot of our camps, they'll send out, a holiday card, the same holiday card to every family. And then they'll send birthday cards when each kid's birthday rolls around. They'll send them a birthday card featuring a photo, a memory of them from camp that previous year,
That is so
which is
smart. That
was
is
just easy to
so
do because it's
smart.
right there at their fingertips.
That is so smart. Now, during the summer, what can the parents do with the photos during the summer as they're looking? Can they send these campograms
Yes,
summer to
exactly.
their
So
kids?
yeah, so this is what we call Waldograms for Business, where the camps can use the product to communicate with their families. But also, while your kid is at camp, you can send them exactly campergrams, and you can pick a photo. You can pick a photo of them from camp, which they love getting while they're at camp because they haven't seen the photos yet. Or you could just, if the rest of the family's, somewhere, they could send a, family photo or what have you. It's pretty cool. You have you have the photo on the, sorry, I messed that up. You have the photo on the front, like the whole card, and then on the back you have a stamp, like in the stamp location. Obviously, you don't need a stamp because it's metered, but in the stamp location, you can put another photo and then put an emoji on it, which is super cool. So you can really send two photos with every card, basically.
What is this cost per card for the parent?
For parents, it's $2, and camps can go one of two ways on delivery. We either send it USPS directly from the app through the postal service. That's really good for longer session camps. And then for shorter session ones, they can print on site. We have an entire module within the app for managing the printing and delivery of the cards. So if you want to print on site and deliver same day, you can do that, or you can just let your parents send it via the postal service. We obviously give the camp a portion of the revenue to the extent we're doing the on-site delivery. So we split that revenue with the camp. So it can be a revenue source as well. But and then as far as Waldograms for Business, it depends on volume, but it goes down to less than $1 a card. I think a dollar a card, I believe, is if you do it, in big numbers. Like if you send a holiday card to your entire community, you'd be down around $1 a card.
Because I know parents are doing this now at camp. Like they're going and looking at the pictures, downloading them, and then using another app to send postcards of the kids at camp, custom stuff. So it's so much easier when you can just do it all in one place. Click, click.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It takes, again, like if you were like me and my wife back in the day, like we're trying to have our only kid free time all year and reconnect, like whatever you can do to make it as simple as possible on the parent, for them to send a really thoughtful, message to the camper. I just, that, again, this theme comes up over and over, but we reimagine this thing from the ground up. And so to me, delivering an email, gross. Like, no, that's going in the circular file cabinet as soon as camp's over. That's not a piece of memorabilia. A Waldogram is what I call corkboard worthy. Like it's going to be on the fridge. It's going to be in the kids' corkboard in their bedroom. They're going to be looking back at those Waldograms through the year. They're going to have friends come over, other families. They see the Waldogram on the fridge. Oh, I didn't know y'all went to such a camp. Tell me about it. It's becomes a marketing asset because it's beautiful, and it's we have all these design templates. You place your photo within a design template. It's not a printed email. Like, ugh.
And not only the kids are going to bring these back with them to camp the next year and use these things to decorate their bunks,
How
especially
did you? I don't know how you knew
at a
that.
time. Oh, because I have two girls that I pack and send to sleepaway camp, and I myself I'm in it. I'm in the trenches. I'm at my camp, so
That's
I see
exactly what
it.
they
I
do.
know it. They're gonna bring it back. It's part of their
That's
camp history. And I think back, I think when you're talking about using it again to create slideshows. So my daughter is the going to be the oldest camper this year, and I'm so excited to finally see her like do all these traditions that I've photographed for years, like as this oldest camper. And they make slideshows, and they spend so much time at the end of camp, like combing through these galleries, which past photographers organized very well, I would like to say, before facial recognition. But it takes time, and to be able to like at the click of a button, I mean, we want them off the tech over the summer anyway. So that would be, and when you have 10 years of 10 years of picture content, that's
right.
when that's so it's so powerful. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's yeah. You know it well. It's exactly right.
Yeah. I so tell me, what are some success stories you've had with camps that have used it? I know you're a relatively new company. How long have you guys been live, for lack of a better word?
Well, I guess it's yeah, I guess it's it depends on your definition of new. We've been serving camps for 6 seasons, I believe, going on seven. We were the first company to deliver a facial recognition driven solution, so automated deliver to parents. We were kind of the innovators in the space in that regard 7 years ago, and we're on our fifth generation, I believe, of our facial recognition model. Hundreds of millions of images have been run through the system, which is what makes it so accurate and more accurate than others. But yeah, we've been at it for a while. Like I said, we've just been continuing to listen to our customers and add, we add features. We're focused on content. We're not the solution if you're just trying to like do the minimum. We're not the solution for that. If you value content and you want to delight your parents and you want to empower your staff to, your marketing team as well as your ops team, Waldo's really the go-to solution if you want, if content's important to you. And I guess my message to folks is that it should be, because I think for a long time when photos became a thing at camp, I think there became a bit of like tension, sort of like a love-hate relationship with it, because the camp administrators, they want to focus on the kids, and the parents, they want the parents to stay out of the mix, if you will. But I think if as a business person, I think there needs to be a shift in mentality around photos, because now they're your greatest asset. So as a business person and entrepreneur myself, I just think you have to sort of hit the reset button on how you view your photos and videos that you create throughout the summer. And it's you want to deliver them to the parents, but you really need to view them as just a key marketing asset for your business. And frankly, view your families and the referral power of your families as a huge asset as well. And the more content you put in their hands, branded content you put in their hands, and with less latency, how social media is, like the half-life on social media is super short. So people post it if it's current. And what our platform does is it gets those photos to the parents quickly and allows them to get the maximum value from that content by sharing it with other family members very easily, as well as social. And the social turns into just significant marketing value for our partners.
And helping those like the administrators during the off season, to be able to access it because it is a marketing tool. I always felt at the end of the summer I always created a body of my best work. I have never been more proud of the photos that I took during those summers. And
I bet.
so to have that and know that how to access them and already be organized, because that was another task of the summer photographer, was to organize them for for social media in the off season. So creating these like best of, I'd be curious, what's on you mentioned that you have like in your algorithm, you put them in best photos. So what makes a best photo according to Waldo Photos?
Yeah, that's funny. I'll explain that a little bit, but it's so funny you keep saying these things exactly. So right here, you can see this custom tag of best photos is exactly, how these got tagged. So I mentioned earlier in passing that in addition to smart tagging, which is the AI based tagging, we have really sophisticated custom tagging where you can do and/or search, so you can combine different tags on an and/or basis to get down to the exact photos that you want for your marketing purposes or whatever the driver may be. But yeah, we actually specifically have that tag.
Rodney, what would be the one nugget that you would want someone listening today to take with them to know about Waldo Photos?
Courtney, I think that if I wanted to leave people with one takeaway, it's that we're 100% focused on helping camps get more marketing value out of their photos and videos, and to delight their families in doing so. And that focus is really why you see what you saw today. Like it doesn't happen by accident. We spent 7 years focused specifically and narrowly on helping camps get more value out of their content. So yeah, just if anybody wants to find out more about Waldo, you can reach out to us at partnerships@waldophotos.com. We would love to have a chat with you, and or you can go to waldophotos.com and sign up for a free trial and just kick the tires on the product, check it out, shoot us questions if you have it. But you can demo the product and see everything that you saw today via screen share for yourself. And yeah, if we can help, we would love to.
Well, Rodney, thank you so much for joining me today here at the Camp Shopping Channel, brought to you by Happy Camper Live. It has been such a pleasure to learn about Waldo Photos. So guys, go to waldophotos.com, learn more about Waldo Photos. They have a free demo. Check it out. Just like you said, kick the tires. And for more camp shopping goodness, you can join us back here at the Camp Shopping Channel. I'm Courtney Ortiz. We're here in the HC, and it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time. I'll save us more for you.
Thanks so much, Courtney.
Take a moment to shine.